Good afternoon. This video will be in two parts. The first part would be grim and the second part grimmer. Now, for the first part, every Indian doctor, I believe, every Indian physician, whether he is a cardiologist, a cardiac surgeon, a gastroenterologist, a neurologist, a nephrologist, or a general physician, must know everything possible about TB, that is tuberculosis. The reason is simple. India has the largest chunk of patients with TB in the world. That is 25% of the world's TB population. In India, every day there are around 7,400 new cases. There are about 900 deaths every day in India, and around 5% of these 2.7 to 2.9 million new cases every year have what is called multi-drug resistant tuberculosis, that is TB resistant to rifampicin. Now I am talking about tuberculosis because the latest edition of the New England has an excellent study from South Africa, and this is an open label phase 3 randomized study which has 403 patients with rifampicin resistant tuberculosis. These have been divided into two groups. One group has a shortened therapy period duration of only 6 months compared to the control group, which has the regular treatment for rifampicin resistant tuberculosis, which can last from a year to 1.5 years. And the 6 months duration cohort received 4 drugs: bedaquiline, linezolid, levofloxacin, delaminid, and another drug in case they were resistant to levofloxacin, which was clofoxamine. Yes, that was the drug. Now we have two groups. Remember, one group has the shortened duration, that is only 6 months, and the other group has the longer duration of treatment. And the conclusion was happy news, because the shortened duration was non-inferior to the conventional longer duration treatment for rifampicin drug-resistant tuberculosis. And here, let me elaborate that the mean age of the patients was 35 years, 40% were women, and around 50% were HIV positive. So it is important to realize that rifampicin resistant tuberculosis can be tackled, and can be tackled effectively, because the cure rate or the completion of treatment in this study was 85% both in the shorter duration cohort versus the control group. The side effects were seen in 35%, and 10 patients died in both groups. So we do realize that rifampicin resistant tuberculosis is a serious disease. I am also talking about tuberculosis because recently I have come across a patient with lung tuberculosis, that is pulmonary tuberculosis, and I understand that in a multi-specialty hospital close to my home, there are right now 3 patients with tuberculosis, and unfortunately 2 of these patients are junior doctors, and one of them has rifampicin resistant tuberculosis. So to cut it short, there is this study, which is a randomized study published in the New England, which tells us that 6 months of therapy is quite effective in drug-resistant, rifampicin-resistant tuberculosis. Now to the second part, which could be considered grimmer, or which could be considered a Greek tragedy, and this is that almost after 500 years, there has been the reclamation of many people say, of the Hindu ethos, of the Hindu religion or the Hindu tradition, in that the temple of all temples was constructed in Ayodhya, that is the Ram temple, And this could be considered as the biggest temple or the most important temple in India right now. There are, of course, other temples. There is the one in Tirupati, and there is in Jammu, Vaishno Devi. But this one had special connotations because this has been built after a lot of fire and fury after 500 years. And the Greek tragedy or the big tragedy is there has been there has been a substantial embezzlement. Now embezzlement is just a complex word for stealing, for nicking, and around it is said that there has been the stealing of 5 billion rupees. 5 billion rupees amounts to $500 million, which is a very big sum. And to learn that 5 billion rupees in cash, in gold, in silver, and in jewelry has been nicked by some people is something which is very, very disappointing. Now, one must understand that this constituted both donations and offerings. Now, there is a distinction, of course, between donations and offerings. Offerings is a covenant with the Almighty, that is a covenant with Lord Ram, and that is a sacred act. It is a spiritual act wherein the common man offers something to the Almighty. Now, to be told that almost 5 billion rupees worth of cash, gold, silver, and jewelry has been nicked is extremely sad. It is definitely a tragedy. It is a huge embarrassment. Apart from this, of course, we also learn that there was a lot of land scam going on. That is, land bought for a small sum was bought by the trust of this temple for a huge sum, that is 2 crores, that is around 20 million, was then bought at some say at 40 crores, that is 400 million. So apart from the mere the stealing of cash and jewelry, there was also a land scam, and of course there was a lot of tinkering with the tenders. Now, just like the pollution never ends, the pollution in Delhi never actually changes. It's been on like this for more than a decade. Just like the war between US and Iran does not stop, it carries on. Already one is told that the Americans have amassed more than 660,000 troops in that area. So there is no question of evacuation, there is no question of a ceasefire despite the MOU. We also have a situation where scams in my country, in India, never stop. We have this mother of all scams, the scammer of all scams regarding the Ram temple. We also have a scam going on. There is a huge controversy about ethanol being used in petrol. We have a land scam in a Hindi-speaking state in India, wherein more than 100 acres of land was purchased by the chief minister of that state and his family. We also have a scam of subsidies. We understand that 99 lakhs, that is almost 9.9 million rupees worth of subsidy was granted to the minister, who was a part of the regulating body which offered that subsidy. And then we also have another scam in the health ministry of Delhi, wherein around 600 crores of money has been tinkered with. 600 million means around $60 million, which is not a small sum. 600 crores of rupees have been again nicked or literally stolen by some personnel in the health ministry of Delhi. So the scams do not stop in India. Tuberculosis does not stop in India. So somebody has to take charge. Somebody has to be somebody must have the political will, and somebody must have the strength in the administration to put a complete halt to stop these scams. Otherwise, there would be a huge cost to pay in the coming years. This could be a major problem. So I will finish at this point that despite the fact that we have many cases of tuberculosis, let me repeat that in a year there are about 2.7 to 2.9 million new cases of TB in India, and there are about 900 deaths every day in India due to tuberculosis. We have a study published in the New England which tells us that drug-resistant tuberculosis, that is the more dangerous variety of tuberculosis, can be tackled with a 6-month regimen of just 4 drugs, which are used in this study, right? And of course, the Ram Mandir has the potential of amplifying the nicking of so many millions of rupees, in fact billions of rupees, is a huge embarrassment, apart from being an immense tragedy, because of the fact that this temple was constructed after 500 years of fire and many casualties. Thank you very much.